Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for being here. Do you hear me well? If not, I can use the microphone. Great. I'm one of the co-founders with Jorge of Sapin. And today, let's talk or let's practice some aspects really important about ChatGPT. First of all, how many of you use ChatGPT daily? Well, it's incredible. It's incredible in just a few time how quick this tool has been adopted. 85%. 85% of AI projects fail due to poor data quality. I hear a lot of companies discussing about how ChatGPT should be behaving better, that ChatGPT was a better tool, that when I upload a PDF, it seems to not be reading it properly. We also view a lot of people using ChatGPT inappropriately and wondering if they are doing something wrong. That generates a sensation that something's missing here. A lot of hype around AI, but I am doing something wrong. Why does ChatGPT doesn't read my PDF? What's happening here? Well, the problem is that that person probably isn't aware of the limitations of ChatGPT when it comes to process both PDFs, Excel, and so on. And that's what we are going to discuss today. Let's start with a demo. I'm going to show you, first of all, you all know this interface, ChatGPT, of course. I'm going to show you a comparison, a brief comparison between how ChatGPT failed to read information from my PDF and why, and on the other hand, how can we bypass that limitation and give ChatGPT the information that we want him to process and do it properly. So, first of all, here we have this PDF. This PDF is the one you are seeing now. The content doesn't matter. What it matters is that for any given reason, I want to read this information. I want ChatGPT to read this slide, the next one, the other one, and so on till the fifth. Okay, so now I enter to ChatGPT, I upload my PDF, and I give it a little and simple prompt. Okay, I have an answer, but is this answer correct? It's not, right? In the document, we are seeing stat-free, defined implementation requirements, but on ChatGPT, we don't see this. What is happening here? Anyone wants to give us a reason? Because
slides entitled when it should be titled.
Okay.
The content of the slides are images, so maybe that's why, because it should be reading text.
Great, that's it. Just to show you, I've done the same process using exactly the same or a let's say a approximate prompt, but in this case I have uploaded not the PDF but the screenshot of the slide, and in this case ChatGPT has read correctly the information, so it has given me the correct information. We'll see in much detail later, but the reason is just right there. ChatGPT is not able currently to read images, graphics from PDFs. it's just only able to read text from them. So that's why he wasn't reading properly my information. Then, let's move from PDF to Excel. Excel, here we have an example in which I've uploaded this Excel, as you can see, it's in a spreadsheet with 4 sheets. One of them is this one, which is a little bit bigger than the other. It's more complex and it has some formatting, as you can see. Here we have some merge cells, which is really common, right? And I have uploaded to ChatGPT. As you can see, ChatGPT is able to open it up, and I can move from sheet to sheet by this drop down just here. And well, when I ask for describe the guidelines 2 to 4, which are there, he does it correctly. It's not failing, right? It's doing its job, and I'm satisfied. But what happens when we try to use O3, which, by the way, is one of the reasoning models that ChatGPT offers? O4, it's not a reasoning model, and O1, O3 are. When we do it, you see that ChatGPT opens up the spreadsheet, but it's not able to answer my prompt. Why? Because O3 models, the reasoning models, they don't support both Excel. They don't support currently Excel files. So if you need to do anything regarding Excel files on ChatGPT, don't use O3 models, because what you will receive is a not good response. Let's go back to the presentation, and now that we have seen some visual representations, let's go a little bit in detail around current limitations around PDFs and Excels on ChatGPT, as they are the most common files on a daily basis that we use. The first is Excel. As I've just showed you, all 3 models, O1, they don't support currently Excels. They support images, docs, PDFs, but don't Excels. When you use, it's important to know, this is an interesting fact, which is, let me look for it. It's here. I changed it. Let's look for it. Okay, I don't have it. But when ChatGPT reads an Excel file, it's using a Python library to do it. Practically, that means that ChatGPT doesn't treat Excel as an interactive interface. It extracts the raw data. That means that we won't be able to maintain all the formatting of the Excel. Here you can see blue colors, red colors, the merged cells. But what happens when we go to ChatGPT? First of all, we lose any format. We don't see colors. The merged cells, as you can see right here, have disappeared. So if we would like to understand ChatGPT that both these 3 columns here are related to this, step 2, we should go to this Excel file and disable this merge, copy and paste this information into the 3 columns. Those are some of the adjustments that we need to do when we prepare data for a ChatGPT or whatever generative AI analysis. As you can see, ChatGPT doesn't inherently know how to move from sheets. You have to go manually from one to another, and you have to express it explicitly into the prompt. Moreover, the current maximum size of an Excel file is 15 megabytes. So if you're planning to upload a big Excel file to ChatGPT, remember that this limitation exists, so you might be able to get an error. What about PDFs? Very briefly, ChatGPT, as we have seen, just processes text from the PDFs. It's not able to read images, it's not able to read graphics. When uploading a large document, and we are talking about around 200 pages, the model might only read one part of the document because it has a context window, which is his short-term memory, and if you fill that memory, the chat will respond to you, but just using a part, a fraction of the whole document. What's the tip here? If you want to process a big, large document, you can chunk it. You can separate that document into 3 or 4 parts, so ChatGPT is able to process it completely. As we related, it doesn't visually interpret the PDF. It's not like he's able to read this whole PDF, for example, and he's able to read the images. He's only able to read the text from the documents. So that's an important part. Without clear delimiters, the model could mix up columns. What does it mean? Here, as humans, for us, this image, it's really clear that we will start to read it from the left, and maybe not from the bottom, but from the top. And it's like really intuitive to us to read this page. But what about ChatGPT? Probably, if the document is not clear, he will start from this side, and then he will add up a column from this side. So we could have a mixed up of content from a page that could confuse the model into combining information from places that it's not where we want to combine the information from. So just take that into account. Finally, regarding PDF files, the size limit is around half gigabyte, 500 megabytes. It's a lot of size, but just take it into account if you work with huge and large PDFs. Best practices to sum up. Regarding PDFs, prefer text-based PDF. That's a mantra that I have when working with generative AI, is that when I work with a document, I want it to be as close to plain text as possible. If I can have a Word document with just text, I prefer it, obviously, in front of any other document. What's our job as people who want to use AI appropriately? We have to transform documents. If we have a PDF with a lot of images and graphics, I recommend to create a Docs, a Word, and to keep moving or keep pasting the text of that PDF into a Word, into a plain text document, and then we upload it to ChatGPT. We simplify the layout, we chunk large documents, and always verify the extracted content, as we've seen in the examples, because ChatGPT could hallucinate and create content that was never into the PDF, but if we don't check it, if we don't double check it, we could be entering into a misleading information. And regarding Excel, I recommend to use one record per row. It's very common to have an Excel from row 1 to 50, some information, and then from row 60 to 80, some other information. No, let's try to have just one line of information per column. Then, if we have multiple tables, let's try to unify them into one single table, one single sheet. The same, don't use images. And if there's an empty row, empty column, let's try to also remove it. To sum up, PDFs. The thing is about making the text information accessible to the model. Working the closest as possible to plain text. And regarding Excel, the key here is to format and keep the spreadsheet as simple as possible. So we have just one line of information per column and the same per row, and we upload a sheet per sheet, one sheet at a time, to ChatGPT. Thanks, and let's move to the questions.